So I went and saw Scream 7. And if you're looking for a movie that tells you to strap up and get ready for a blood fest, then you're in the right place. The opening sequence burns down the original home from the first film, immediately setting up this brutal tone that was going to be in the entire movie. But today we are not going to just react to the kills. We're going to do a complete non-spoiler review of Kevin Williamson's time in the director's chair. We're also going to talk about the new mother-daughter dynamic that we have and why the logic in this film ultimately kind of makes everything fall apart. So what immediately works for Scream 7 is the pacing. The entire film basically takes place over the course of a day, setting up this relentless, fast-paced mystery. The first 20 minutes you essentially saw in the trailer, and from there, you are thrust into the unknown. They move Sydney away again into some unknown town that they didn't give us the name of. And it's not anything new because we've seen this from her before. But the difference this time is she's still with her daughter. She has 2 more kids and she's married to the chief of police. This wasn't the freshest take on Sydney and her background, but it was nice to get away from Woodsboro again and get into a new city with a new canvas and basically unleash all the carnage there. Honestly, now that Dewey is gone, I hope we never visit Woodsboro again. Now let's talk about the directing. Kevin Williamson obviously took over this project while it was in the middle of a whole lot of flux. If you didn't know, this film had a lot of problems behind the scenes. We had one actress fired, we had another actress drop out. But all in all, he made the best of this film. Visually, the film looks great. The shots in this new small town are fantastic. And if you came for the horror, the kills, the gore, all of that looks very, very good as well. I was not let down by the kills in this movie. The kills were great. Now, we had some lackluster ones and some lazy ones, but for the most part, the kills in this movie were awesome. Overall, the acting was solid. We have to talk about Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox because honestly, I think their characters, while they're legacy characters, they play kind of tired in this film. Sydney honestly just isn't the badass that maybe she once was. She wasn't like this hardcore badass, but she was kind of badass. And they go out of their way to show us that Gail is still suffering from the attack in New York and that she's basically kind of weathering down a little bit and she's not the same spunky Gail of old that we're used to. And in my opinion, I honestly think it's time for both of these women to go ahead and pass the torch. Now, the new blood in this movie, they really stepped up and they did a good job. We have Mindy and Chad returning for their third outing and they're very, very confident this time around. But the standout is Isabel May, who plays Tatum, Sydney's daughter. She plays a normal, shy teen perfectly that's dealing with the strains on a relationship that she has with her mother. And all of this is coming from her mother's past, and she wants to know more about her mom. You know, it was a good mother-daughter dynamic. In my opinion, I feel like if she's given more time in this role or even in other roles, I think she'll be a really good final girl in the future. Now for the truth. The tension is great early, but at some point, the logic starts to fall apart. It feels like the director was given 2 or 3 different scripts and it was all squashed together and he did with the best that he could to make it work. Because this movie, in my opinion, kind of suffers from some continuity issues. Without giving away any twists, there are some narrative decisions that make you ask the question why. And it makes you ask that question a lot. Because in my opinion, there is no real reason for the direction that they chose to go in this film. They could have went a million different directions in this film, and the way that they went, I don't think they should have went that way. I think they could have honestly simplified it and it would have worked a lot better. The movie, for the most part, is pretty straightforward. It's a horror story with a family that gets thrust into this murder mystery of who is trying to kill us or who is trying to kill my wife or my daughter. We have Gail and Mindy and Chad. They show back up to somewhat save the day. And from there, all hell breaks loose as you usually do in these films. And from there, you know, just a cycle of chaos breaks off. And then we eventually get to our killer reveal. And I'm not going to reveal that now, but come back for my deep dive. And then I will reveal who the killer is in that. But all I can really say is the twist wasn't that great. It was okay. It could have worked, but you'll see. I don't feel the Stu return was done great justice. It was nice to see Stu return, and I think that his return could have actually worked if the script would have been worked a little differently. But the way that it was done in this film, I didn't personally like it, but you guys let me know if you did. Maybe you guys enjoyed the Stu return and the way it played out, but I personally didn't like it. It wasn't my favorite. It wasn't terrible, but it could have been a lot better. If you saw my last video, then going into this, you know that I thought this movie had 5 out of 5 potential. But because of the disjointed script and some of the lazy legacy arcs, I'm going to give this movie a 3 out of 5. It's honestly a good movie. It's just not a great movie. And it's honestly kind of surprising for this franchise because they're kind of known for their quality, especially in the horror world. And I was surprised that this one lacked some of the umph that we get from the other films. I kind of understand now why it has the critic score that it has because it does have some misses, but those misses could have been corrected. And I'm not sure why they didn't catch them, or maybe they were in a rush to get this film out because I know it was announced. Then, like I said, we had some players drop out, and Neve Campbell decided to come back. So I know a lot was kind of thrown and twisted together because they went from one story with the Carpenter twins, and then now that's gone, to going back to Sydney and now with her family and all that stuff like that. So it just has some issues. And I wonder how much of the original story carried over into this story and where that story was actually going to be, because you can't really tell, in my opinion. But honestly, I think we need a Scream 8. And I'll get into that in my deep dive video, why I think we need a Scream 8. But if you come over and watch that video, you'll understand why I think that they do deserve a Scream 8, and I heard that they're trying to make this into a trilogy potentially if this does well, and I think this movie is going to do really well. So I would expect a trilogy out of this. So stand by for all that. And I do hope they get it because I think that they can come back stronger next time. So we'll see what happens. So before I keep talking and accidentally give something away, that is going to be it for this video. And I thank you all for coming by. Please come back for my deep dive. That should be out either Saturday or early Sunday. So stand by for that. And thank you again. I am also on my road to 500 subscribers. So please hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It helps me keep making episodes like this. And I will see you next time. Please don't forget to drop a comment and let me know what you think. If you've seen the film, if you've not seen the film, if you plan to go see the film, just let me know what you think down in the comments. And I will see you all next time. Thank you for coming. Bye.